For centuries, monarchs ruled by divine right. The king's sovereignty was granted by God, backed by the church, whose authority helped the king keep the reins of power. And throughout modern history, the government, elected or not, was granted the power to print and coin money. Controlling the money supply, of course, gave the government tremendous power over its citizens. And the temptation to misuse such godly powers for the ruler's own benefit was all too tempting. It happened in Rome when they diluted the amount of silver put into coins so that they could print more, leading naturally to rising prices and disharmony throughout the empire. It happened in Weimar Germany post-World War I. The big winners being the debtors who paid back loans that enabled them to purchase things like houses prior with the same nominal amount of currency that might be able to purchase the wheelbarrows that people were using to haul around the cash that they were transacting in. This, of course, led to the rise of the Third Reich. It happened in the Ukraine after the Soviets pulled out in the early 90s. More recently, Argentina, Zimbabwe, Venezuela, amongst others, that all have experienced the same hyperinflation that vaporized the savings of anyone who would put a semblance of trust in the government-issued currency. Yet still, to this day, the paradigm that we all believe in, that we've never known anything different, is that the government has the sole right to issue and control the money supply. Boom! Newsflash! It is not their divine right. Indirect control over the value of privately held wealth in the hands of the bureaucrats is as Thomas Jefferson saw church and state.
You gotta keep them separated.
What we are seeing right now in the United States with the massive printing of money is the same recipe that would cause hyperinflation in any other country. In fact, when the US prints, because the cost of us printing is distributed around the world, all those poor saps who underneath their mattress have stored a few US $100 bills for safekeeping are seeing the value of their savings eroded. Oh, sure, I grant you it's not quite as bad as the Venezuelan bolivar. But if you had an alternative today to the US dollar, wouldn't you take it? And just now, a new crack has appeared in the mighty boulder of the United States owning the world's reserve currency. Something very new, the separation of money and state. The tiny Central American country of El Salvador is introducing a bill that would make Bitcoin legal tender in the country. It's already being used at large scale there. Why? Because their citizens, fed up with the corruption of the state, with poverty, have decided to put their faith in mathematics and into the Bitcoin blockchain, which will never allow more than 21 million Bitcoin to come into existence. In other words, if you save in Bitcoin, your savings cannot be printed away. El Salvador might very well become the first country to adopt Bitcoin as their national currency. And do you know what is galvanizing and spurring this action? It's simple. It's Joe Biden and the United States Treasury printing trillions upon trillions upon trillions of dollars. And Salvadorians, with the rest of the world, are finally able to defer to an option that doesn't force them to help absorb the costs that frankly should be for United States citizens alone as our leaders desecrate our national currency. The future of money is separation from the state apparatus. The future is no longer people having to put faith in the bureaucrats to suddenly decide that they are unworthy of banking, or maybe that you don't have the right political profile, which is already taking place in the United States of all places, or that we are just going to print money because, we have professors teaching critical race theory to our young college students who we have to pay $400K a year to, or maybe we just want to invade another country to take their oil, and by golly, y'all are going to pay the costs, not the bureaucrats that are making these decisions. The state of the future will no longer have the divine right to control the supply of money. Now that, my friends, that is technological innovation. Thumb up the video if you appreciate it at all, and share it. And if you're new, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, but make it all notification bell. Peace out. Have a fantastic day.